So one of the hot topics over the course of the last day or so, as we've gotten more Sparking Zero gameplay, has been Whis. And the fact that Whis has an Ultra Instinct mechanic, Auto Dodge mechanic, and he has basically no drawback to it. So here's a look at it just flat out. So as you see, he's doing the auto dodge, and one of the main talking points for this is the fact that Whis is not consuming any ki, unlike Ultra Instinct Goku, who does in fact consume ki. So one of the things that people were talking about when it came to this specific clip was that it was apparently in training mode with the reset position button in the bottom right corner. And so there was optimism that that was just, you know, because it's training mode, he's not draining any ki because that's just a normal phenomenon, right? And we kind of move from there to this. Really quick, I'd also like to play another clip showing the same thing. It's just really times 10 broken crazy how that works. Like, he is just absolutely eating those hits or not. He's just dodging everything in the blasts too. That's absurd. I mean, look at Goku going all out here. And then Whis is just absolutely destroying this guy. Look at the dodges on the blast. That's crazy, bro. That's absolutely nuts. But you know the fun thing? That is absolutely canonical. That is what Ultra Instinct is. And it is said that all the angels have mastered Ultra Instinct and they're able to use it. So that being said, Whis, I mean, this is fair. Like, this makes sense, right? Right? I fear anyone that's going to, based on current knowledge anyway, be maining Whis because you seem like you're going to be a major threat. You know who else is a major threat? Anyone else that subscribes to the channel, because 80% of viewers haven't subscribed, so make sure you subscribe. We're going to have a ton of Sparking Zero content. I'm going to be terrible at it, but I'm going to be working my way up. We have started grinding, and we're going to be hopefully at least serviceable. Passable. Maybe. Kind of. All right, so anyway, back to the point of the video. So now, and we got another clip earlier today from Sparking Zero News over on Twitter. It's confirmed that Ultra Instinct from Whis does not drain ki even outside of training mode. Whis has lore accurate angelic Ultra Instinct. Training mode was not why he had no ki drain. We'll also check out the full video to see if there's any more tidbits in there from Death Daddy. I've not heard of that creator, but shout out to you, and thank you for providing us this info. Obviously, there's a ton of creators I haven't heard of, so don't take it as a slight if you're watching. All right, so let's see what we have here. By the way, he's probably never heard of me. So we got Cooler versus the enemy, or I guess CPU Ultra Instinct. So let's watch this. So from the other perspective, of course, Whis is dodging those blasts, and yeah, instead of losing ki, he's got the passive ki gain going. That's too funny. I was looking out to see if there was any other cost to it, like a skill or something, but it just appears that there isn't. Okay, so, I mean, as the game currently is, there are I would like to say there are a ton of moves I think that'll connect. I think this is just for your basic attacks that he's going to do that on. He's not going to do that on probably even charged attacks. He's not going to do that on other mechanics like counters or things like that. I think this is probably, and this probably also extends to Ultra Instinct, and he's going to land all the beam-based attacks. He's not just going to auto-dodge without any restriction. In fact, Whis is kind of weird because he doesn't have the restriction of ki. Like UI Goku has to deal with that problem. Whis, because it's a non-perfected Ultra Instinct, I guess is what they're going for here. Whis does not. So they've got to find some other way to create an environment where Whis can be beaten, because if they don't, he's just going to permanently dominate. Like I said, I think he'll be able to be hit with some stuff, but a good player is going to be able to leverage that auto dodge on Whis and be super damn annoying and good. It's almost the equivalent of, like, if you play Legends, it's almost the equivalent of running triple Ultra Instinct. It's like, it's not a great team, but it's an annoying as hell team, right? I guess it depends on when you did it, because different times in the meta, right? So all in all, Whis seems pretty interesting. All right, so let's check out some Whis gameplay here and see how he looks. He's dodging those blasts there. That's a pretty fun blast animation, though. The graphics on this look really nice. They look really good. So Whis did get hit there because he was charging, I guess. So mid-animation, he'll get hit. That makes sense. Whis' charge animation looks nice. Seems like he's pretty timid, not sure what to do because Whis just dodges everything, right? Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, if you catch him mid-animation... But that's a CPU thing, right? Like, it's kind of hard to time that anyway. A good player, I mean, yeah, you could do it on that, but they're probably not going to let you get that. He's not really doing anything with the Whis, unfortunately. I'd like to see him do something. Okay, so he landed a combo. It's not surprising you can hit Whis because you have to be able to hit him to beat him. But what happened there? Was that because Whis was stopping on that dash? What happened there? Let's try to see it a little bit clearer. The Whis closes the distance. Ah, okay. So he was behind him. It might have been because it was just after that dash. Maybe there's some sort of cooldown. I mean, aside from just the normal, like, animation-based cooldown that every character would have. Of like a half second or a millisecond, whatever the timing actually is. Okay. He's massive here. I couldn't really tell because the size of the map here. I could not tell. Interesting. Wait, did he dodge that? What was he guarding? I can hardly see the Whis. That's really... He looks like a dot, dude. That's crazy. Well, this is just going to time out here. The Whis, like, literally looks like a dot. It'll look better when I get my hands on it, but of course, that's just like a little bit of lost video quality here. The Whis didn't do anything the whole fight, though, aside from just dodge and sit there. Tried a couple attacks, but didn't really do anything. So it's not, like, terribly surprising you can hit the Whis, of course, right? You have to be able to hit the character. I wanted to kind of talk about a couple of other things while I've got you. I didn't think this warranted its own individual video, but there was some fun stuff here. So previously we talked about character customization, but there was a little tidbit here that appears that maybe you would be able to change the techniques or special attacks for the characters. So as we see, Goku is here with the instant transmission, all fired up, Super Kamehameha, Dragon Burst, and Super Spirit Bomb. And then it also says equip ability items and technique settings. So you may very well be able to customize the abilities that these characters have. And that is going to combo with the crazy amount of customization we already have in the game and make it to where you really are going to be able to get a unique experience. I mean, one of the things that we talked about earlier from the producer interview was that they talked about how, you know, one of the questions was like, if somebody wants to just play this game single player, they don't really have any interest in playing online, what can you do? And they talked about custom battles and customization, and I think this game really is trying to hit a home run with customization. We also saw a Rhymestyle tweet that they did bring back that mechanic where you were able to, like, I think it's the Patara mechanic or whatever from the previous Budokai game, we're able to put the extra stats and stuff on the characters. I think that'll be pretty interesting too. We've seen images of like skill graphs and stuff like that. And then also setting aside the fact that these characters have access to accessories and all this other fun stuff. So like there is going to be a super high level of customization that I don't want to say we haven't seen before, but we haven't seen before because this is going above and beyond. I mean, we've seen similar stuff like Xenoverse, but that's mostly reserved for your own individual character versus being reserved for the entire freaking roster, it seems. Like, that's really, really crazy. Another thing that came out was that apparently the ranking system for PvP in this game resembles that of Dragon Ball The Breakers. There's a lot of comments that are like, is that good or bad? No one knows what the hell that is. Like, dunking on breakers. Still a fun game to play, but absolutely just not going to survive. I think Xenoverse will survive this game coming out. Obviously, I think the mobile games will survive. Kakarot's kind of whatever, but I don't know that breakers will. Anyway, so moving on. It apparently has some similar systems. So you guys can post down below. It's been so long since I played it. I think you go from D5 all the way up to D1, and then you push to C5, so on and so forth. Apparently, the idea here is that you'd go all the way up to Z1 as well. So I am really interested to see that. I'm also interested to see, and maybe they've mentioned it, maybe there's something that I've missed in a previous producer interview where they talk about the customization, because I talked about all the customization and how you could really, the point with my the Potara stuff is that you can really customize your own experience, so there's a ton of replayability. That was the point with that. But I don't know if they've mentioned that customization being accessible online or anything like that. That would be insane. And so aside from like accessories, I'm sure visual accessories that have no merit on the character's skills or stats or anything like that, that's probably fine online, right? But unless it's some crazy stuff that shouldn't be in the game, like a mod or something, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I wonder if any of that customization stuff is accessible online, because while everything should be accessible in the game to every player, at some point you might have to grind for some stuff, or wait for some stuff to appear in the Zenny shop, I guess. God forbid there's any sort of microtransactions. If you buy this currency, you can make sure that you automatically buy this thing whenever you want. Please just keep that far away. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something like that added, but even Xenoverse got that after a while, where they created that whole mode and they made those TP medals all blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I don't know if that stuff would be accessible online, but I do think that PvP could be an interesting environment to play in. And the ranking matchmaking, I think, will really make or break this game for a lot of people. But I'll say I think the PvP is going to be one of the main... I've talked about content for this game. I think PvP and custom battles are the real two driving factors for this game going forward. Aside from just, obviously, the replayability, like I talked about with the customization and stuff, and then the wide roster of characters, DLC. But I think those two things are going to be what I think a lot of people are going to flock to. So I want to know what you guys think. What are you going to mainly be playing when it comes to Sparking Zero when the game comes out officially? What are you really looking forward to? Is it just the customization? Are you looking to do what ifs? Are you looking to do other content? Post it down below.